Hello, hello, everyone. Good morning. Happy Monday. Bree Sedano here, coming to you live today to talk about upgrades and downgrades and congruency in your financial energy. And what we're going to talk about today is going to, I think you're going to love it. It's just going to help you to see something very clearly and make you understand something. So this is a good video for anybody who's been on a journey to have a different kind of relationship with money, to manifest money, and has maybe felt like a little like a wobble in the in between, right? Like a little bit of a wobble. So as you are all hopping on, please say hello in the comments. Just let me know where you are in the world. I don't know. Or if there's any takeaways that you're taking, please feel free to comment. It's always a little bit more fun to teach when people are engaging. Also, we are currently not running any ads. So if you take a ton of value from this quick chat that we're doing, please feel free to share this video to your timeline, or to, message it to a friend or send a link if that feels appropriate for you, if you like that. All right. So let's get into it. So when we're there's layers to like a manifestation process. And when I say manifestation, I mean the process of creating your life on purpose, right? So people who are intentionally creating, people who are manifesting, are really just looking at all right, well, what do I really want? What am I willing to do to get it? What am I not willing to do to get it? What actions are required? Who do I need to be? And then let's do that, right? So even though the language itself lends itself to being something very woo, right? People are like, "Oh, the woo woo." And listen, I love all the things that are woo, but also the manifestation process is something that's like incredibly real life, like very like meat and potatoes, very practical. So there's the level of intention, right? Which is like where you're going to say to yourself, "What do I desire?" Right? What do I want? Then we have the level of thought. This is the place where your identity, where your judgments, where your truths, where what you believe is possible or not possible. This is the realm of like your inside your noggin. Now, where that comes into play in this process is that if your mindset is too small for your desires, you it will feel impossible. Like if your mind like if you have a desire that's this big and a mindset that's this big, you're going to not understand. You're going to be like, I don't ever see how it could happen. I don't see how it could happen. That's basically like the thing there. Your desires are going to seem stupid to you. They're going to be like, "Oh, well, I'd love to do that. It must be nice for people who get to do that," right? So then all right, so you have your desire, your mindset. Then your thought process really leads your emotional state. I'm going to come back to that in a second. Your actions are the next part. So in between your thoughts and your actions is this emotional state. This is where, like if you go to take an action, you may get, I don't know if anybody's ever been resistant to doing something, or really procrastinated on doing something, or wanted to do it but didn't really get it done or whatever. A lot of times our feelings get in the way, right? Then we have well, I guess did I think I think I said anything. So we have your thoughts, or we have your desires, your intentions, your desires, your thoughts, your feelings, your actions, right? All right, this is the manifestation process. So bear with me. I'm going to talk about a different thing around money. So when it comes to money, we have different aspects of what needs to be done, which are going to really match up against this, because my work is very practically based, but it's very energetically informed. So when we talk about cash confident, when we talk about the pillars of like getting to your next level, there's financial strategy, there is a money mindset, there's emotional intelligence, there's habits, actions, behaviors, and then there's communities, right? So I have 5 pillars in the work that I do with clients. And these things, and pretty much all my containers, we're going to address all of these things. Sometimes like with the courses, even my courses though, like there's an online community where you can come and ask questions and do things like that. So one of the places that people get jammed up in their relationship with money is they're like, all right, you know, I want to have big intentions. Okay, cool. So we're going to expand that out. And then they start doing the work to expand their mindset. Okay, cool. But then the actions that they take are very constricted. They like get all tight with their budget. And it doesn't exactly work. So if you want to grow and expand, we want to be looking at how do you grow and expand across all of those places, right? So we want to be we want to be looking at that energy of upgrade. So upgrades and downgrades are a very interesting phenomenon, because it's not necessarily about like the thing that you're doing or the thing that you're buying or not buying. It's really about what it feels like for you. So for example, I've had a client buy a much smaller house, and it was a downgrade for her. It was a massive downgrade. She loved her house. She didn't want to be in a smaller house, but instead of expanding to meet the needs of what it would take to maintain her life, she took the downgrade. And to her, it felt like a downgrade. I've had other clients move from a big house to a small house, and it was an upgrade where she was like, I don't want this house anymore. I don't want to take care of this yard anymore. I'm ready to let this go, and I would love a condo. Okay, cool. So it's not really about, like a certain step or a certain action or a certain thing that makes something an upgrade or a downgrade, but it's how it feels to you, and it's what it seems like to you in your life and what it is that you're creating. So both have momentum. Both upgrades and downgrades have momentum. So sometimes people talk about upgrades and the momentum that comes with that, like it's like there's something wrong with it. And it generally, like, it'll be something around lifestyle creep. Um, and listen, letting your life get too big for your income stream is never going to be a great idea. It's going to leave you stretched and feeling like toast with not enough butter. Like where you're trying to stretch like like a little bitty bit of butter across like a whole lot of bread, and it feels bad. So one of the things that needs to be like you need to be aware of is like how much capacity do I have? And then making sure that your life is the right size life, right? Like right now, I have a beautiful house in the suburbs in the suburbs. But if I was to right now stretch myself to go buy a multi-million dollar house, that upgrade would probably crush me because I'm not, my overflow is not so vast that I could just be affording a multi-million dollar house. Like that's just the truth, like the truth about, like, I'm not there yet. Like maybe like one day, I'm sure I will be, where if I was to really expand my expenses without the capacity to do that, I'm going to end up feeling all sorts of bad about that. So the upgrades and downgrades, they're levers that need to really be looked at in the context of like what is the right size for this in my life. You know what I mean? Like I'll tell you, last year I grew my business so big so fast, and then I kind of looked around and I was like, there are things about this that I really love, and there are a lot of things about this that I'm not we're not doing it this way. And that was actually, I had a hard time with that lesson personally. I had a tough time with with it, seeing that I'd grown something bigger than like I actually had capacity for. Like I had more staff than I actually had capacity to like really love and really mentor, really take really great care of. And so like that I grew something too big too fast. Is like this is like my little nugget of nonsense. But I want you to be aware because sometimes this is a thing. So like if you expand too big too fast beyond your energetic capacity, you're going to feel like not enough. There's not going to be enough money. There's not going to be enough time. There's not going to be enough energy. And so if you have a life that's truly too big for your capacity, you have two choices. You can either really do some work on yourself to get that capacity bigger if it's really, really the truth about what you want, or you could be like, actually, I have more life than I actually want. And then cutting that back may be the thing to do. And it's a tricky thing because it's not like when we look at the energy, it's very clear, but not everybody sees energy. Not everybody understands what I'm talking about. So it's tricky to explain because like the exact same thing could be an upgrade or a downgrade depending on where you are. So anyways, the what I want you to take away from this is I want you to understand that upgrades have an energy and they're attractive to more upgrades. It's like when if you get a new purse and it's amazing. And then when you're wearing your new purse, the contrast between the new purse and the old jacket seems like a little like when you had an old purse and an old jacket, it looked great. It was fine. But now that you have a new purse and an old jacket, you may need to upgrade the jacket. And that's kind of the thing about upgrades, right? It's like we in my house, like we just renovated our bathroom. So like I have a house built in the 1950s. So I have a beautiful house, but my bathroom is like a spa. Like, I like got a custom bathtub that I can like lay all the way down in. And now that that bathroom is there, all I want, I'm like, we need crown molding here. We need, like we don't need, it's not a necessity, but it's like I feel I feel the energy of that other upgrades just wanting to like be in my house. Like I'm feeling myself really being like, it's time for new kitchen cabinets. It's time for other upgrades because the contrast between the two. And the same thing happens for downgrades. So the trouble with downgrades, listen carefully to me. The trouble with downgrades is that we come to a place where there's nothing more to downgrade. Like there is a clear floor. There's no ceiling on your relationship with money, but there is a floor. And so when we when we downgrade and downgrade and downgrade, what ends up happening is we get closer and closer and closer to that like floor. So it's just something to be aware of and to be careful with. So, for example, there is a financial guru um, out there who encourages her clients who take her. I think she's got a debt course or a debt book or something like that, and she's like, eat bologna sandwiches until you're out of debt. I would never suggest that. I would never suggest that. I would never suggest that, and the reason is because let's just say somebody was to take that advice. Now, bologna sandwiches are are delicious, like a little like every now and again, but like bologna sandwiches are not something that's gonna have the energy of upgrade. That's an energy of downgrade. So let's just say, for example, I get so wrapped up in my debt that I'm willing to do this. One, it means that my energy is all wrapped up in the past. It means I'm not thinking forward, I'm thinking to the past, right? So on an energetic level, I would not encourage that for my clients. When I talk about that with my clients, we're generally like, all right, we're going to make a plan. We're going to change our behaviors. We're going to change our action. We're going to work on becoming the person who's debt free. And we're going to make a plan. And the plan is like a set it and forget it type of plan. Like, obviously, you're going to manage, you're going to pay your bills, you're going to do the things. But we want to pull that energy out of the past and into the present, slightly facing future. So that's like one of the first bit of alignment. Then to say, all right, and then you're going to downgrade your entire diet. You're going to eat food, you're going to downgrade your diet until you're debt free. I would never suggest that. Why? Because downgrading your diet downgrades your health, and health is wealth. Health, like having freedom in your body, feeling good, feeling like you can digest, eating healthy food is a measure of wealth. Feeling good in your body is a measure of wealth. So if I was to say to you, we're going to take the health from your body and put it into your past financial decisions, I would never suggest that, because that doesn't make any sense. Be like, we're going to maintain, we're going to eat good healthy food to whatever capacity you can afford, because we're going to maintain that, and then we're going to be looking to upgrade some of the things. So where I want you to understand is that when you're looking to expand yourself in your relation, because listen, money is really about next level service. It's about next level becoming, right? Like you get next level because you deliver it next level. So for example, like I'm trying to do 7 figures this year. Right? That's my goal. And also that's an extra big challenge because last year, like I just told you, I grew the business, and then I pared it back at the end of the year last year, and we switched like the model. I switched some things around because I was like, the way that this is, I don't, now that I see what it is, like I don't actually want to maintain that. I want something a little a little different, right? So I pared the business back. I have my offers that I will talk about briefly just where I want them. I have everything just where I want it, but now it's just like a time of like I really like in the business thing is the model is there. It's I'm showing up for sales, right? Like I'm going to sell you something. Um, and so I guess anyways, I have it right where I want it. But it's so in the space, I'm becoming the person who can hold seven figures of energy. That's a lot of financial energy to have capacity for, right? So that's one of the things that I'm working on. It's like I have my desires really clear now because over the last couple of years I've learned a lot of things about business and about coaching and about online everything. And so now when I set my intention, I'm not wishy-washy about it anymore. Like my desires are clear and my mindset, we're stretching that. So when I'm thinking now, like when I listen to I listen to a lot of I consume a lot of financial content. And the thing that I'm looking for is mindset of, seven figures and multi seven figures. That's the mindset that I want to be at. I'm not looking for like, you know, starter money mindset stuff. Although sometimes going back to basics is super super like effective, but like I'm looking to stretch into that. And that's like about being. Who am I being? What am I doing? And what do I desire to have? So like if you've done any personal development, you've heard of the be do have model. And so that's where we have to really be careful around the upgrades. We want to be looking at upgrades and we want to be looking at downgrades because both of these they both have momentum. They both have, you know, they both attract other things like it. So we want to make sure that if we are wanting to get to our next level, right? Like so in Limitless Wealth, for example, like those clients come see me and they're already successful, but they want to be next level successful. They want next level energy management. They want next level leverage. They want, you know, they're to the place where in the relationship with money, like they have their money stuff, like they're earning already. They probably have some systems, but what they're looking to do is make that money multiply. Like people love to talk about things like multiplying their money before they know how to save $42. And you're like, well, you got to learn how to save before you can, um, before you can really learn to multiply. Multiplying is like a next level type thing. So I guess that's the whole point is you want to be looking at like where do you want to be making upgrades, and if your life is too big for you and you really don't have the capacity and you don't actually want what you're creating, downgrades are perfect. They cut something away. But to downgrade, listen, this is the important part. To downgrade to upgrade does not make sense. It does not make sense. And if somebody gets to be wealthy by being a miser, by hoarding their money, by not letting it go, by being cheap, it doesn't matter that they're wealthy. They never learn how to use the money. It doesn't matter. If you get wealthy by being a miser, it doesn't matter. You're still going to be a miser. You're never, wealth is about flow. It's about generosity. So hoarding, while you can amass wealth by hoarding. If you're too scared to use it, then what difference does it make for you? This is the point of learning upgrades and downgrades. Because I listen to a lot of, like I'm telling you, like I listen to a lot of money voices and I hear a lot of wealth building via cutting, via downgrades, via miser, via, that like I read a post who one woman was talking about saving money and she was like, negotiate your hairdresser down. And I was like, oh, you want to build your wealth by not paying somebody who serves you? And I'm like, it's energetically incongruent. And to be honest, that grossed me out a little bit. I was like, oh, I would never not want to, like, the work that she's doing is the same. Why would I not, like if you wanted to say, I'm not going to get my hair colored anymore and cut your expense that way, but to say, oh, I don't want to pay you your prices because I'm working on my wealth. I'm like, ooh, ooh. If somebody said that to me, I'd be like, you could hire another person. Thanks, but no thanks, friend. You know? So anyways, that's the point of the talk. So listen, there are a few ways that we can work together. So if you like what, if you like listening to this and you want to learn more of like a really, my approach is very practically based. Like we do a lot of actions, we do a lot of real world stuff, but it's very based in manifestation. It's very based in law of attraction, very based in energetics. And when we have our energy aligned with our emotions, aligned with our actions, we find that stuff gets very easy. So that's like the underlying, theme, and that's across all of my work. So if you're looking, to kind of dip your toe in and get something started, I have I have a suite of online courses. You can go to sharkschool.online, and there's courses there like from Find Your Bleed, which helps you to, look at your spending through a different kind of lens. And then there's the invisible system and drop the debt and, money mindset boot camp. There's a whole lot of courses that are there, and they're all relatively inexpensive, like in the big scheme of things. They start, I think some are free. Some are free. It's not, I don't think. I know some are free and some start in like the $30 range and then they go up to like $500. So that's one way that we could work together. If you're ready to go on a journey, like with your money, like if you're starting from a place of scarcity, survival, feeling like your money really has a lot of authority over you, then Cash Confident is a great offer. So Cash Confident it's a 12-month, and it's a membership style program, and 12 months is basically how long it takes to get somebody from surviving to thriving. So that's where we have a mix of content and a mix of coaching. And that offer is, it gives you practical things to do with your money now. There's mindset, there's coaching, there's emotional intelligence there. And so that's for people who are so tangled up with their money that their relationship in money kind of feels bad. Like they feel like there's not enough time. Like they feel like they're in survival mode. And so the point of that is to stretch your mind and stretch your emotional state so that way you can learn how to thrive. So that's Cash Confident. That's for yeah, people who want the whole journey, who are like, I'm going to be wealthy, and this is like base camp. It's like you're going to go and you're going to start and you're going to learn the skills that you need for wealth management, wealth building activities, things like that. Right now, I have a course that's, well, it's a small group coaching, and that is actually next week. It's a small container. It's going to be a very tight container. There's two parts to it. So it'll go 2 days in a row. And that's called Raise Your Money Vibes. And Raise Your Money Vibes is for a person who is looking to go to their next level and has a lot of negative feelings around money, or doesn't take action because they feel a certain kind of way. So maybe like isn't asking for a raise because she feels guilty or can't get the words out of her mouth, or overgives, feels like somebody else deserves money more. So we're going to look at that's coaching. That's really not about content as much. There's not a ton of content, but what Raise Your Vibes is we're going to go through like a 4-part process to basically release the weight of unnecessary and old outdated expectations and really come into our own sense of authenticity in a relationship with money. So that is available now. That class is the 2-part workshop is next week. So you can all the links are in the description. So if that sounds like something that's for you, so that's really where that's like you're going to do your work. It's not really like I'll teach some stuff, but it's really about the process. It's about letting go of low money vibes. So that's what we're going to do there. We're going to raise our vibration around money and that thing. And then Limitless Wealth is my high-end mastermind. And Limitless Wealth is for people who are already doing well. Some of my clients, I would say a portion are in corporate, and they're looking for like their next big promotion, their next big role. And some are business owners. And either way is really fine. But Limitless Wealth is really for the lady who wants next level skill in her ability to create her life on purpose. So it's a really juicy, it's a really, really beautiful, juicy container. And it's for people who are looking to like learn skills like leveraging time, energy, systems. It's, on that practical side. On the energetic side is we're really looking to like harness the power of our emotions in a way that's mm, just like makes your manifestations clean. So there's a lot of energetic understanding that happens there. And like limitless wealth is for people really like looking to go into multiple six figures, you know, start looking at seven figures. It's a program for people who are becoming that next version of themselves. And there's a lot of processes and work that we do to to get there. So limitless wealth is is basically for people who are already doing six figures either in their salaries or in their businesses, and we're looking to go to multiple six, looking at stretching into seven figures. And really looking to do it's for people when like what got you here won't get you there. It's when we need a paradigm shift. It's when we need to start looking at everything like, how do we do this easier? How do we tap into our feminine energy? When like, a lot of my clients in limitless wealth are they come in kind of over with an overabundance of masculine energy, and we balance that out. So they give and then they receive, and we work on alignment and things like that. So that's in the description too. So courses, cash confident. Right now I have raise your money vibes and limitless wealth are four ways that we can work together, if you want to work together. All right. So I love you. I appreciate you. Thank you. And I will talk to you later. Bye.